Better or for worse, here we are.
I'm Jake Schriner.
I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Tracey White.
And I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
And you too.
Thank you.
And you, and you.
Thank you.
But wait, there's more.
We'll be here all night.
You're all right.
It's going
It'll be a long podcast.
Don't forget to tip your waitress.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
Cheers.
All right, kaboom. Oh, I missed all of that.
Okay.
Kaboom.
My friends, my mates. All right.
Prost.
Boom. All right, so here we are. Let's get this thing rolling. It is another beautiful Monday night, and it is a beautiful night
It is,
tonight.
yes.
Last time we did the podcast, it was about to rain and looked terrible, but tonight, woo, it's nice.
It is.
Something's still in the air. That's why I still have this sound. So let's get started. Let's see, should I start on this side? I'm going to start on this side today.
So I don't forget to ask
So you don't forget to ask me how I'm doing. Jake Schriner, how are you, sir?
Oh no, now the pressure's on.
Pressure's on.
I'm good. I'm very good. Thank you. Monday at work was better than the average Monday, I would think. Yeah, had a new guy start today, and he's
Was it
working
the
out
guy
really
from
well.
the Craigslist ad?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. He. It was funny when I called him to set up the interview. He initially he answered the phone. Hello. This is. I won't say his name, but I asked if it was him, and he said yeah, and he just didn't sound very enthused. So I'm already thinking what a bummer, right? And then I gave him the address for the location, and he kind of pauses, and I hear him go, wait, is this 1401 Umatilla? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, oh, awesome, so glad you called. He got really excited. He realized it was us calling him, maybe not some other
spam.
company. Yeah, or I don't know where else he had been applying. Maybe he just had his eye on, us calling him versus anywhere else. But anyway,
that's cool.
so he was really excited to start, and he came in. He was there bright and early today, and with bells on and ready
Nice.
to go. So and
Yeah.
he talked to him at the end of the day, and he was real pleased with it and wants to come back tomorrow. So
that's
a positive thing.
Sound of that, sure.
Yeah. And let's see. Over the weekend, cleaned up the home garden. Had a bunch of stuff we cleaned up, and then I made a bunch of vegetable stock all day Saturday afternoon.
Yeah,
with it.
come on.
It was so good. It's I made about a gallon worth, and you let it simmer for 3-4 hours. The house just smells amazing. There's all homegrown stuff in there.
You gotta have
awesome.
your own cooking show, man. Cause that's that tastes good for sure.
We'll set up a counter in here. And
You just do that while the podcast is
Just
going
while
on.
the bits in the background, just do it.
Just throw in a
do
little
cooking
quip
stuff.
from time to time and take a bite of a pepper. Ooh, that one was hot.
I'm working on a catchphrase. Catchphrase. It's gonna be bon appetit.
The tagline.
Just one more quick work thing that I think is really cool. We do this thing with the Colorado Avalanche, and they have this charity called, or it's part of the charity. It's called Stack the Wins, and what they do is they take the puck from I think it's all their wins for the season, and they put it on this board, and then they auction the board off at the end of the season and raise a bunch of money. Last year they wanted to make it a little nicer, so we CNC cut a nice board with all the holes for the pucks, and then a second sign that has the Avalanche logo, and it says Stack the Wins.
Nice.
Gave that to them last year, and that being their winning season,
Yeah.
it went for a whole bunch of money when they auctioned it off recently.
Yeah.
And so they reached out to us again to make this year's board.
Wow.
So, and we're gonna donate it to them just because it's for charity. So,
Yeah, cool.
And I was talking to the guy when he picked it up today, and Wednesday's the home opener.
Uh-huh.
And I mentioned that, I was like, I like the Blackhawks, they're gonna be in town at the home opener, it'll be and he goes, I'll talk to some of the players, see if I can get you some tickets.
Come
What?
There you
That would be
go.
awesome.
Yeah.
So in 2 nights I might be going to the home opener for the Avs too. So I'll find out
sitting
tomorrow.
on the bench
but
with the guys, maybe.
What's the movie?
Right.
I will have one more ticket because Colette's working. So. But no, I just thought I thought it was really cool. I thought that was really cool. It's awesome to be able to give steel to really cool charities and things like that as well, and it's for the Colorado Avalanche, Stanley Cup champions.
Cool.
Who wouldn't want to be a part of that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very cool. You got a little star power going on.
It's like I actually have not to boast, but I developed some pretty good connections from just working in what I do, because we sell steel to so many different places and so many different people. And it's cool to meet the different people that are involved in different things. So.
Nice. That's awesome.
You need to strike a blue steel pose.
Yes.
With the I can't like when I'm laughing. You gotta,
Can't get the duck lips.
yeah, I can't.
All right, Dick. Awesome. Bob, how are you doing tonight?
I am not doing bon appetit, but I'm not doing bad. Almost got
That's so great.
That is awesome.
It's a really relaxed working day, which is a good thing, because the next 3 days are nothing but meetings the entire every day. Oh my gosh, no! Except I'm ditching on Thursday, so. But yeah, we had a great time yesterday at the musical.
I went to the play.
I did not realize that Joy and I took out Johnny and Leona for a play yesterday, and that we've been looking forward to for a long time. It was the last night for that performance too, so that was really cool. And what I was not expecting after dogging on musicals was that it was going to be a musical. It was great. It was so funny. It was a great musical, great performance as always. So if you ever need the desire to go into go to theater, go to the Vintage Theater over in Aurora. It's a great place, and they're not a sponsor, but they should. I don't know. No, probably not.
Yeah, no, probably.
Anyway, all things considered, it is theater. So, but
What happened?
we've never seen a we've never seen a bad play, bad performance there at all. So they just do really good stuff, and it was such a good time hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, it was. After the podcast from last week, and I was talking about musicals and the person that works who just gets weirded out by musicals and stuff. But yeah, it was funny to be there, to be a part of that. It's also the kind of thing that we don't do very often, right? We go to movies, we go to stuff, but to see a live, truly in-house live, and it's that intimate setting too from that theater.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a novel, fun thing for us to do. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, their main theater sits maybe 100 people, and I think that's being really generous. So.
But we felt bad because it was Joy's birthday. We didn't even realize it.
But I wanted to kind of downplay that, just in the sense that we were there just to have a really good night with everybody. So
it was fun.
And then the Mexican restaurant we were going to go to was closed, but Joy and I ended up finding another one.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And it was good food. Her enchiladas came out with mole sauce, and that was really weird. Yeah, it would have worked with beef, but it didn't really work with chicken. I don't know, it was strange. No, but it was it was kind of a mole instead of an enchilada sauce. It was strange, but it was a great Sunday. Had a wonderful Sunday.
Dick, what do you think of the food offerings that Bob is suggesting tonight?
I concur with Bob on the mole sauce versus enchiladas.
Bon appetit.
Okay. So yeah.
All right. Well,
That was good.
Well, awesome. Glad you're here tonight. We're gonna move it on along here. Tracey White, how are you doing, man?
I'm tired, but we cleaned out a little bit. Speaking of cleaning out, the whole area back here. Don't know if y'all noticed that. Also, put a sign out on the gate that says, "Please don't block the gate," because when we got back on Sunday Saturday with the trailer, everybody was piled. I couldn't get the trailer back in.
Oh no!
I had to drive up on the sidewalk and everything, and I feel bad about doing that, but it is what it is. So, talked to my dad today, which was great. They're on a cruise ship right now.
So you're jealous.
Love.
I don't know. We just got off one. Kathy and I've had her fixed for a little while, but we are going again in
Of course you are.
June next year, I think. We haven't booked it yet, but we are going. I think everybody should go. It'll be fun. It is a Monday through Friday that we're looking at, so y'all should all come.
Compass Church Cruise.
That could be kind of fun, to tell you the truth.
It would be.
I'm already seasick thinking about it. Whenever you describe that the ship, and it's still rocking a little bit.
You'd have to experience it. It's really great. And then the bad thing today was getting that. Kathy ordered some beneficial bacteria. Came in the Amazon bag. Opened the bag, and it had opened and spilled out in the bag, and it's really stinky. So, yeah. Other than that,
Good, bad, and the ugly.
Did I mention anything else pre-show? I don't know what else was going on.
Well, I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you here after you had been away. And even though we just saw you, you've only been back like a week, and then you're going to be gone next weekend for your drill thing.
Yep.
Drill thing.
Still here for podcast though.
But you're for podcast.
John.
And rehearsal. Yes, Tracy?
How are you doing?
Why, thanks for asking. He was ready.
Been thinking about that the whole time. Don't forget to ask him.
Nothing to it.
It would have been fun if like you got asked how you were doing. You're like, I'm good, Johnny, how are you? And then just
Kept rolling. That would have been the end.
yeah.
Well, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. It is a Monday. First thing that happened when I walked into the building, got going into the day, and then I had this thing because they're doing this thing at the school called Spooky Spaces, which is like a trunk or treat, but it's not in the parking lot, so it's a different kind of thing. So it falls into my category of the positive behavior stuff. So anything that's like it has to do with anything rewarding to kids and whatever. I'm usually a part of that. So part of that now involves me going around, and they have these little, they're like trick-or-treat bags, pumpkin bags, and every teacher is collecting the forms and the money from the kids who are signing up to be a part of this thing, right? So like 300-something kids at the school. So first day, it was a nightmare. So I'm the one that goes around. I get all the bags. I get the money. I had to count all the money. I had to enter the names of the kids and all of the. Oh my gosh! So imagine if it says affix $2, $2, right, to a paper. One, they're not going to cut it when they're supposed to cut it. So there's the whole paper. Some of them, not everyone. The ones that do, some are ripped. Some have affixed the $2 bills by stapling them, some with tape, others with paper clips, which I'm very thankful for, but I pulled so many different, it was a nightmare. But anyhow, but now it's easier because I've got a lot of them entered and I have to highlight all this name, blah, blah, blah. All that means is now every single day until the event, which is the Friday before Halloween. So every day I have to go around to every class and pick these up. Well, today I started on the side of the building that I'm not normally where my office area is now. Walked down there and I saw sitting in the hallway my music stand, my backpack from the day. It's all stuff I left out on Sunday.
Oh no!
This is how I started basically the day. It's like, oh no, because I left this morning. Go, where is my hoodie? I can't find my hoodie. It's chilly out there this morning, and of course my hoodie is sitting there with the music stand and my backpack and everything I left in the hallway. So that's how that started. Now last week I mentioned that there were some kids that were real cute. We talked about the first graders that just had been kindergartners the year before, and they got a crush on you. I was like, I got it, man. Okay, so a couple of days later, I just have to share this. A couple of days later, third grader, all right, one that I've been kind of helping along the way. Anyway, so she comes up to me and she says, you're very nice. But when I look at you, I mean, you're not ugly or anything. But when I look at you, it reminds me of Dory. I went, Dory? Wait, like the fish? He was like, you think I look like an ugly fish? I was like, ooh. Well, okay, well, there's that humble factor brought back right around. You look like an ugly fish. So I went from a crush on you to a reality slap. So Dory. I look like Dory. Oh man.
Pretty blue.
Anyway, pretty blue. No, I'm blue.
Did you just tell her, just keep swimming?
Just keep swimming on to the other side of the cafeteria, kid. All right. But yeah, but I'm doing fine. I'm tired. This was just one of those longer days, that we stacked into, but now I'm doing well. All right. Let's get into this stuff. Boom. Time to argue. No. I'm just kidding. Let's talk about the weekend or about whatever's on you guys' mind. Conversation podcast. I did have a good time yesterday, by the way. I will say that. I'll get it started. I enjoyed you were talking about the playing and the music.
Yes.
I went back and listened to that. Yeah, I was so glad he was singing because he was singing really well yesterday. I thought. So we were throwing in the harmonies. There was one point where you were throwing in some harmonies. I went, oh, come on. Yeah. This is good.
Feeling it.
I like that. And it came across on the recording, I thought, as well.
Oh, really? You'll have to watch. It was a really busy day.
Yeah, I understand.
And Facebook.
For us too. Yep. But see, if you just go to compassdimmer.com, click on watch,
Yeah.
you don't even have to log into Facebook.
Oh, that's good.
All you do is just click on the image
Yeah.
and it opens it up and it's just the video.
I can do that.
Yeah. You don't even have to sign into Facebook.
Yeah. Good.
That's a good way to do it. 'Cause Facebook is Facebook.
Yeah, I just started doing that. It looks like an HTML code thing, and I'm getting all geeky on this, but rather than copying their embed code from, that sounds terrible, Facebook's, embed Facebook, wait, what?
And on a bed.
Embedding a video file where you play it, and you stay on your website, and you just play it, and it's got Facebook branding.
Yeah.
So instead, I just use a short HTML code that is hyperlink with a picture. So the picture is there. You click on the picture and it takes you to the link of the video. So even if you're not signed in, you can. It's still just the Facebook page, but you can watch the video.
I will watch it or
There you
listen
go.
to it tomorrow while I'm working.
Do it. I did today. It was kind of fun. Someone else like to talk? I'm just
I've got to make sure it gets mentioned. You got through all of your verses.
Yes,
Yeah, I did.
that is true.
Can you believe it?
It was
You guys got nervous on me there. Verse 1.
Saturnalia miracle that drop the only Seinfeld reference I use.
Except we didn't get too far into the Star Trek teleporter.
Yes. Old Philip. My friend Phil.
Maybe that's the other question we need to.
Was he teleporting?
Quantum physics.
Yeah.
Well, here's my take on it. Maybe
Okay.
he was, maybe he wasn't. Could he have been? Yes. But, I mean, God can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
God created a universe. I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
That sounds a whole lot like the take I gave on Sunday. Because there's another passage, right, where I think it's.
He was with them no more, and then he was over here. So, yeah, I think it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm just gonna say.
it could be. I mean, there was a time when the disciples are on a boat, and then suddenly they were at the bank. You know, it's sort of a miraculous kind of thing that happened.
So look how quickly Philip went on the road south of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Just got up and went. And so that last line, I mean, if he, the Spirit of the Lord called him to go somewhere else, he just got up.
He just went.
Got up and went.
And that's kind of what the way I see that.
And he
is-
appeared again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in how you read it, I think. It's like, and he was found again at. So if you read it just sort of a kind of clip, it does sort of sound like the Spirit caught him away and he vanished. And when they finally found him, he was here.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm with you. I think that certainly could have been the case, but it's obviously not the main point of the passage anyway.
No.
So it works.
I really would imagine it's just that he didn't stay.
Yeah, he didn't stay.
He didn't stay. He was
left.
called somewhere else, and he was like, "Well, we're done. Gotta go."
And we're saying this with full faith and believing that he certainly could have been.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think it matters that much. Although it is kind of odd.
Hey, Jesus walked through a door.
Yeah, of
Saved.
course.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe it was Jesus.
yes, true.
All right, so we were in Acts. We were on the road to Gaza, a desert road.
The desert road.
Desert road.
This is
For
the
context,
desert road.
Acts 8.
Parentheses.
That would have been like, oh, I thought you meant the dessert road.
We're having
Where's the
ice cream.
chocolate? Ice cream, yeah.
Right. Oh my goodness. So what else about that? I mean, it was a. And those are I will tell you, these are my favorite kinds of sermons to do. Is where I'm just kind of breaking it apart as we go. So, if I said, "Hey, what were the points for Sunday?" you would go, because some sermons you can really clearly see point 1, point 2, point 3.
Sure.
And here's a song for the end or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is basically expounding upon a passage and pulling those truths from, which I really like to do. But it can be a very much what we would call a sugar stick kind of way of doing it. Meaning it's just kind of favorite way to do that, and it could get dull and can miss points.
No, that was great. I did, as always, I love the point of baptism.
Yeah.
It's made about baptism. Here's water. What's keeping me from being baptized? Nothing. Let's go.
Yeah.
A necessary part of your commitment.
Yeah, and think about the commitment on this guy. He is very wealthy. very well to do. He's got his own scroll of Isaiah, which is a huge thing. I mean, those things were not cheap because they were handwritten on very, very special papyrus and whatnot. Possibly parchment or leather, depending on how it was done, but it was an expensive piece of get-up. And he likely had very expensive robes on, and even if he took those off, he'd still have expensive clothes on. Yeah. He was happy to get wet in them. And so it leans something into the cost of following Jesus. These things are not worth the wonders of following Jesus, which is a really, really cool thing. That I don't think I've ever really seen anybody like pull that out. It's like, wait a second, if he was so wealthy and he did that,
Yeah, it just kind of removes any. It's almost a uniquely American experience, I think, in relationship to baptism, where it's like, now I go out of my way a lot of times to remind people that it isn't the baptism itself that saves you. Right? And so, but I don't want to go and err on the other side and say it's not important and it's not one of the first things we should do, and that it's weird if you don't. Right? Yeah. It's like, I went to my weird illustration, are you a human or a robot?
I am a meat popsicle.
I'm not sure that was the best.
Have you ever violated any of the laws?
It's just odd. It's just to think of somebody who, Jesus died for me. He has saved my soul. He has prepared heaven for me. I want to follow him with my life. Oh, okay. Get in the water. I'm not sure I want to do that. Wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about? Maybe you're not as sincere about this as you want. And this is not even getting into finer points of how and whatever. I alluded to, that they went down into the water. And I just, I do believe that is the biblical way, and I appreciate the traditions of others. If you have the option to be immersed, that's I think biblically is what you should do. Right.
I concur.
So one of the very earliest writings, it was kind of a church planting DIY called the Didache. That's exactly what it is. It's, get immersed in cold running water, like a stream or something. If that's not there, then sure, standing water. If that's not there, then maybe we'll do a pour over.
Yeah. The Didache? I thought it was Didache.
No, the CH would be like charisma.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Right.
Charisma?
Yep. It just sounds funny.
It does.
It's like Takis. Because all the kids are eating Takis all the time, they're those little chips.
We were joking at work, what if we pronounce Chipotle the way we do Aristotle, or Aristotle the way we do Chipotle?
That's why I call it Chipotle.
Okay, see, so there's this Instagram guy, and he is like predominantly Spanish speaking, and he's got these funny videos with his wife. So it's like a split screen, and she will go, pring. He'll go, pring. Goals. Pring. Goals. Pringles! This is really funny. He does it with tons of words, and it makes me laugh every time. I don't know why. It's just like, he does it very, very American, and then he immediately pronounces it like it would be said in Mexico or something. Nice. Love it. Pringles! Oh, well. How'd we get off the money? The Dachis. The Didache. Takis.
But yeah, the earliest traditions say immersion was the way to go.
Oh, yeah. And well, if you even dive into the words itself, it's what they mean. And that's obviously the way even Jewish baptism was always by immersion. So anyhow, you get hung up on it. But the point is, you need to be baptized. The whole point of being baptized is to identify yourself with Jesus and his church. And so if you really are giving your life to Christ, it is weird to not want to do that. So
it's like getting married and not saying your vows.
Yeah. Let's not say the vows. Don't give me a ring. No ring. No ring. I don't want to dress up.
I want to be married, but I don't want to let anybody know.
Oh, well. All right. So, what else about any of that?
Let's see, I guess backing up to the beginning of that whole thing is how Philip, which was not the apostle Philip, but he was involved in the church and the goings on, and everything was getting all ramped up and cooking really well, and then he got the call the Spirit was like, I need you over here. And without hesitation,
Yeah, it's
he
starting.
was like, all right, let's go.
Well, he is.
So it's like planning a church, just like
Yes.
this.
Well, and again, even as I was giving that illustration, I'm thinking, I'm not measuring up in this because it's a different. I'm not saying, hey, I'm like. I thought about that. I don't want people to think I'm trying to say that was like Philip. It's similar in a way, at least in terms of the obedience.
I think it's exact in a way. To be honest with you, because it doesn't have to be a big thing like converting a rich dude, right, or something like that. It's I think planning a church is a big thing, and it's really great. Yeah. But it could be feeling called to help one person.
Absolutely.
Or to do one task, that maybe even somebody would never see. So,
well, I mean,
conceptually it's the same.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's fair. Right. So
something
I mean,
big, something small.
If Jesus tells someone to do something, then we would say, do it, even if it seems weird. Like a number of times Jesus would say to do something. So they're there at the temple. There's a temple tax, right? And he doesn't want to offend them, so he tells Peter, all right, look, so, it's sort of like, do we really need this? Not necessarily, but we don't want to offend these people. So go cast out into the sea. There's going to be a fish. You're going to pull the fish out. He's going to have a coin in it. Take that and go pay our temple tax, right? Okay, that just sounds kooky. Yeah. And yet, he did it, and it happened, right. And it worked. Right. Or Jesus says, hey, go into Jerusalem. There's somebody there. Just say the master has need of this colt or whatever, or this room, and it will. And so, sometimes they're very kind of weird journeys, but it's they don't obey because of what the command is. They go because of the one who's commanding.
Right. Mm-hmm. And they have faith that y'all go. Don't take anything with you. Just go. Everything will be provided along the way. And if you don't find something there, then just keep going.
So that's the anchor verse for the road trip series, right? Trust in the Lord with all your heart.
That's right.
Lean not on your own understanding.
Kind of interesting. I was channel surfing on Saturday, between some Christian stations and whatnot, just trying to find a song, and ran across one that I hadn't heard before. And very interestingly, this idea comes up because in the lyrics, I don't remember exactly how it went, but the idea was that I'll make room for you to do whatever you want to do, and so which he's talking, singing to God, and
I know that song.
And it's like the problem is that I'm going to make room in my life for you instead of help my life be the room for you.
Yeah.
So it's a
subtle way of thinking.
Exactly. And I think that is where the artist was trying to get at, but it didn't
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just the way it was. It's like that's exactly how we practice our faith, though. Okay, I've got soccer practice, but then I'm going to do this.
Got a slot for you, Lord, at about 3 this afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. I'll pen you into the pencil almost. So just getting out to that point where it's like, okay, I need to go do this thing for God, Instead, what we should be doing is, like Stephen, have our life focused on Him and doing what we're doing, so we can hear that call at the time that it happens.
Yeah, it's startling to me that he recognized his voice so well, and of course, when the Acts 6 passage, right, where they call the guys to help with the distribution of the food for the widows. They say find those who are full of the Holy Spirit and faithful and all that. And he is described as one of those guys. He's just in tune with God, right? So he hears his voice. He knows that voice. He knows it very well. And that is where we need to get. Not to the point where we're like hearing weirdness, but it's in tune and tethered with Scripture. Anytime God's telling us to do something that kind of violates Scripture, I got news for you.
That's not Him.
That's different. Get behind me, Satan. But yeah, it is pretty cool because he did leave that very exciting thing. It wasn't until later in the day I started thinking, when I was telling that part, I wonder if there was anybody thinking I was about to announce I'm leaving.
I go hang out with this rich guy for a little while.
But hopefully I made that clear.
No, did you get that?
As far as I know, we
Was that they wanted to leave?
It is something you wanted to leave?
I thought he was gonna be like, and I'm out of here to New Mexico. Hitting the South Road, the desert road.
And for these reasons, I'm out.
I'm sorry, but whenever you talk about the desert road, I couldn't help but on a dark desert highway. Cool whip in my hair. Is that how it goes?
After the boys left summer. It's a different song. All right, well, what else about anything, questions, thoughts, impressions of yesterday, message or not message? Doesn't matter. Or whatever.
No, but just what you were just talking about makes me think of a question for our Q&A.
Good. Let's pause. Let's do an ad right now.
Yeah.
So we are having a Q&A podcast that's coming up. Probably we think the first Monday or Monday in November.
Yeah, first Monday in November. Yeah, let's do that.
Right. So we're going to answer some of these questions, or at least we're going to bat them around the table and try not to flip the table.
Right.
So if you have a question about God, the Bible, Christianity, anything like that, it doesn't mean that we have all the answers, but we want to engage with those questions. So drop them in the comments or send an email to bob@compassdenver.com or to johnny@compassdenver.com. And we're going to look at some of those hopefully monthly. And, we'll see how it goes. If it becomes this just weird thing, well, maybe we won't do it again. But or maybe it'll be a segment. We'll add a segment into the normal podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a thought.
Yeah, if we get
All right.
enough of them, that'd be
We
easy.
need like a talking stick. So
Yes.
A little snake on the snake. Okay.
We all have to use our sock puppets.
Hey, that would keep the anger and stuff down.
Yes.
If we could only debate with a sock puppet. The weirdest podcast of all time. Oh no.
If we could zoom the camera in just on the side.
it'd be less weird if we did that versus the camera seeing all of us and the
Have you ever practiced ventriloquism?
I have not. Can't say I have.
Yeah.
I know you're supposed to open the mouth when you're talking.
That's
Yeah.
great.
You don't eat the words. You open the mouth when you're talking.
See, you've done puppets. That's what I sound like. Because I did puppets for years back in the day. It was when the Muppets were a big deal in the late 70s or something.
Yeah. Back in the day.
We're taking a weird turn in our little journey tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we probably need to get wrapping this thing up. But is there anything else that you guys want to throw into the mix here?
One of the last things regarding the Ethiopian is it worked because the Ethiopian church was one of the earliest and largest of the church bodies to grow out of the entire, the persecution that sent Philip to Samaria in the first place.
That is a very wonderful point, Bob, because there is a wave of not controversy, but there's sort of a group of people out there who tried to make it sound as though Christianity actually started. It was me this time. Weird. At the Council of Nicaea or something, and then it's a white European religion.
Right.
And the truth is, the oldest churches, really, Christian churches, were probably from Ethiopia or perhaps even Armenia. So, anyhow, fun fact to no one tell. Long before some of the other stuff.
And it was all started by a Middle Eastern carpenter.
Yeah. Yes. True.
We began to build. As they came. No, anyway. Sorry. That was weird. All right, well, anything else? Jake? Nothing?
No.
Nope.
Good.
It was good. It was good. It was good to be with everybody yesterday. I love the whole vibe, by the way, yesterday, too. Just the vibe in the room. It was great. I always like it when we have to me feels like authentic Compass Church gathering, worship gathering. Who are you with again?
It's Morey.
Morey! Dude, come here. Come here, Morey.
Because we are missing something.
We got a special guest.
That's right.
Yes.
Come in here, Morey White. Morey White, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! Come on. Just in time, my friend. Come over here.
Hey, Brian.
Alrighty.
I'm so happy to see you. I know you're here for the rehearsal.
I am.
We need to share our favorite verse that we share with everybody.
Because we have not.
Because we were just about to wrap up.
You about to wrap up?
Yeah. Here, sit down. Right here.
Grab a chair.
Sit in my chair. We're ready.
Pass the chair around.
Here, sit
I got
down.
don't move it. I got one over here too.
Keep the podcast moving for just a moment.
There we go.
That guy were tap dancing in that musical.
Yeah, that was good time.
That was very good tap
Hold it
dancing.
forward, bro.
John 3:16.
There it is. Let's hear it, my friend.
Now, can I share what I shared?
Absolutely.
I had a, kind of that moment between where you're almost asleep, but you're not quite asleep. You're kind of awake, you're kind of dreaming, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. Well, I use that time for lots of things, but I was contemplating on
It's okay. I know. We just rushed you in here. Take a deep
a
breath.
conversation I had with a buddy of mine about music and understanding how a musician hears music and the intent behind why they did this note instead of that note, or why they're doing this rhythm instead of that rhythm. And I was talking about it, and we were listening to music together, and he got really, really excited, as if he was hearing music for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I started thinking about, it should be that way with the Word when we share it to those that are not saved. We're sharing it from the perspective of those who have been touched personally by God.
Yes.
And they have not been touched yet. So we should share it the same way, explaining the details. So I actually thought that soon I plan to go through John 3:16 word by word and talk about why those words were chosen. What does that really mean whenever it says, for God so loved the world, that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. And what all that really means. And if you look at it from the eyes of someone who's saved, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is super exciting.
Yeah.
So
man.
think about it, y'all.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
That's why you brought the passion.
I
You
just
brought
preached.
the energy.
I preached.
Thank you, Morey. It's like right where you need to be.
We missed you, Mark.
Right
There's
there, my
one of
friend.
the reasons why.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, we love you though, man.
Work's
We love
gotten
you.
hard.
Yeah. No, we're glad you're here. Well, we're at the end, so you get to be a part of the end. So
Yeah,
that's
nice.
awesome, right? So let's see.
Podcast with special guests.
What special? Oh, no, it's not special guest.
With returning.
All right, he's just on pause. He's on absence leave for a little bit. All right, so I will say that Compass Church meets somewhere in the world all the time. No, we don't. But we do every week, and you can discover us online on Facebook at Compass Church Colorado. You can discover more at compassdenver.com, and we would love to have you as our guest this Sunday. All right, guys, final words.
Love you all. Love everyone out there.
Likewise, and the Glow and Go is coming up. Yay!
Yeah, that's right.
This has been great.
Peace, y'all.
Grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight, and we are out.
Bye.
Thank y'all for letting me join. It was fun.
Yeah, man.